Hi YouTube, welcome back to another Citizen Tech Talk and Infantry Lead the Way video. Guys, this is no longer the Quid Pro Quo series anymore. We're actually moving into mainstream news as well as events as well as around Yourverse series moving forward. So guys, we've got a massive amount of content coming up. Please get on the subscribe button, get on the like button, as well as obviously click that bell for all video notifications moving forward, as we have a massive amount of content to cover this year. I'd like to also officially welcome Infantry Lead the Way as my official channel partner moving forward. We are now in business together, and this is the format of our channel indefinitely moving forward. So yeah mate, welcome aboard, and it's fantastic to have you as my channel partner once and for all. So pretty good stuff, eh? Huh? All right, so so what's happened last few days is we've had some feedback in the comments section in relation to microphones and things like that. So what Infantry Lead the Way has done, or I'm going to just say ILW from now on, is he has gone and got himself a nice Yeti mic. He's got the red one. I'm so jealous because that's the one I wanted instead of the blue one I got. But anyway, I got Odyssey, blah, blah, blah. And he's also got booms and stuff like that. He's going to get a new webcam, just like I've got, which is the C922 Pro Streamer webcam from Logitech, as well as a couple of other things, just lighting and stuff like that. So, before we go any further, I wanted to show you just pretty much what he's getting, which is the 922 Pro. The halo light, he just bought that today, hence why we've got some light in his face, which is fantastic. He's also literally, probably in the last half an hour, gone into all the effort of, see that curtain up there, guys, and the curtain rail and the brackets? This legend went to Walmart and got all the parts and actually brought them home and put it all up just now. That's dedication, right? So yeah, mate, good on you. Yeah, and just the LED bulbs as well. So these are the same type of bulbs I use in my studio. They're daylight bulbs, about 1500 lumens, and they really have a beautiful, clean white light. Hence why on the right hand side of me, I've got a incandescent bulb, which is a 100-watt incandescent halo bulb kind of thing, and it's putting out a nice warmish light. Hence why this side of my face is quite warm and looks tanned, and on my left hand side I've obviously got the daylight bulbs and then the set bulbs behind. So yeah, Infantry Lead the Way, ILW, will start obviously getting all that put together in time soon. He's going to work on the rest of his set over the next coming weeks, so there's something else to look forward to when you're watching the channel. And yeah, we've got just so much stuff coming up. Now mate, because this is your first official, video as actual channel partner, would you like to have a few words to say?
Well, yeah, I'm really excited moving forward. I know that my mic was a big issue, so I would like to thank the channel subscriber who chimed in last video and he recommended a new mic. Because of that, I went in a pocket, bought this whole setup. A lot more to come. We'll be covering a lot more content on the way. Me and him constantly pass videos back and forth, ideas on what to cover. There's so much to cover. We might, depending on my schedule, because I have a really hectic one, start going into 2 videos a week, sometimes 3. Hopefully we can get, the videos are usually uploaded several days after we actually shoot them. So hopefully we're trying to get it in, like one on the weekend, one on the thing, because of our different time zones. There'll be a video in his morning, a video in his evening, and it'll be all dependent. But a lot of new exciting stuff coming forward. Just stay tuned. If you want to go ahead and take it off, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, fantastic. So that lovely subscriber is Rick Bearcat. Once again, thank you so much for being such a fantastic supporter of the channel, and somebody who, as I've said many times before, has been fantastic in giving feedback and support. And look where we are now. So thank you, Rick Bearcat. That criticism is required and very appreciated from both of us. Okay, so let's get past all the fluffy stuff and the boring stuff. That most of you guys are sitting there going, oh. Let's be on to something a bit more spicy. All right, so guys, I'm just going to bring this up for you. This. Calling all devs. January 2020 question thread has been in a couple of recent Star Citizen related videos with Jared Huckabee and blah 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 of recent in relation to people giving feedback and complaining and actually getting things that they want now, asking the devs to answer questions in relation to things getting done. We're going to have a bit of to and fro here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you to ILW first, and then I'm going to do my thing.
All right, well, they made up the calling all dev, I think, at the beginning of the year. They had a lot of questions on there. Some of them have been deleted. They said no win questions, which is I think they do no win questions because they have no idea when they want to implement the stuff or if they're going to be able to implement it, because there's so many building blocks of things built on top of one thing, and if one thing gets delayed, everything gets delayed. I know on the previous they did. They did a previous questions and answers thread, and so I would tell you this: pay close attention to the questions that are asked and how they're asked, because what CIG have been doing is there's been questions that we want answers to, and we've voted them up. We didn't vote up these questions; we voted them up how they've been asked and the specific wording in the questions. CIG are changing the wording and then answering the changed worded question and not the questions that as they've been asked. So keep on the lookout for that. Keep on the lookout for this thread. Watch this thread and see how the things are changed, because there was, like I said, there was a question that I wanted answered, how it was asked, and they changed it and then answered that and didn't answer, and I had to ask it again in this thread, but we'll see how it's even asked. But go ahead, CTT.
Yeah, so look, my opinion is CIG always want to reinvent the wheel. It's like when you catch someone out in a lie, or you correct them on something they're saying, and they have to then justify their position by rewording the situation and trying to, but what I was meant to be saying is this. Okay, CIG, if you're asked a question, why can't you just answer it? Why do you have to reinvent the wheel, reword it, redeliver it, confuse people, then have people do double the work to ask the original question in the first place? Just answer it. Yes, no, yes we can, no we can't. One thing that I'm really aggravated about, right, is that these rules, okay, be succinct, I get that. Don't want paragraphs, don't want novels, I get that, right? But when it comes down to no when questions, this whole thing is about when, all right? Not being able to ask time frames, even just ballpark time frames about things, or even just, I don't know, theaters of war. What realistic time frame are we looking at? Give us a 6-month period, give us a 12-month period, for Christ's sakes. Give us something. And this is a damning indicator of the incompetence, in my opinion, where they can't even work out when it's going to come out themselves. So the when questions is a simple case of, well, we have no idea what we're doing or talking about. We can't answer that, so we'll just put it up as a rule. You can't actually ask us serious questions about what is happening with the game. I don't see that as transparent. I see that as very fibrous and stonewallish, and very jump through hoops and loops and then be sent back to the start to do it all over again. I don't feel that calling all devs is calling all devs anymore. It's to say, put some stuff in here, and if we get around to it, maybe, possibly, or if we feel that what you're asking is too direct, we'll fluff it up and then put it out in a different way. That's not transparency. That's not calling all devs and getting answers. That's crap. And sorry, mate, that's just my opinion on it. Just by going through all of this, right? Deleted. All right, yep. 7. Rule 7. Deleted. 7. So the thing is, we're entitled to have a frame of time, a referenced frame of time. We're entitled to know stuff. They can't say, we can't tell you. It's not. Here we go, 2 in a row. It's not a case of it is a big developer, EA, Bethesda, BioWare, right, whoever, right? This is something we are part of. And this is why we're starting around your universe series moving forward after we get past, excuse me, after we get past all of the carry on and the drama that's going on, the politics of what's going on right now. Once we finish that bit of this on our channel, we're moving into your universe, and we're going to be talking about what you need and what's happening with your universe and what the bigger picture is. How the star map actually works. Explain economy, explain mining, explain technology, trade, pirate, law, outer rim, lawlessness, lawfulness, how people can work and live out there, especially farmers and pioneers. So we're going to be going about this whole Star Citizen experience in a completely different way to anything you've ever known. And it's going to really kind of reframe things for you. If you don't love lore, well, we're going to save you all that hassle and just explain it to you holistically in 1 or 2 episodes. Then you can understand what's going on with the actual history in the game, as well as what you'll be wanting to do. Because once this comes out, these lore elements are going to be playing a very, very substantial part in what you're doing and where you're doing it. Anyway, moving forward, just wanted to get that out of the way. I found that a little bit aggravating from one of our previous conversations. I didn't say anything to you, mate, because, yeah, that was something you brought up, and I didn't want to, obviously, have a deep conversation about it. I think it was a late night for you too. Anyway, moving on. Is there anything you need to add to that, by the way?
No, there's nothing I need to add. I think what we're going to do is go into the video right and revisit the question of the Star Citizen cult. So, even though we're going into a new thing, it should always be said that me and him agree on things and we disagree on a lot of things. So there's things that we agree on, and it's usually like we see the same facts and we both come to different outcomes. So we're revisiting right now is Star Citizen a cult? Is it a financial backer cult? Is it where they come to the defense and they spend a lot of money, and all the tactics that CIG uses in order to make a lot of money? Is it a bad thing? Is it a cult? We're going to break it all down right now.
Cool. So here's the video. This video is about hooking the whale, the Moby Dicks of the gaming world. Now, this video, in essence, is about mobile gaming, but it's directly transferable to what Chris has done from the Kickstarter. So, anyway, let's get started. Let's go whaling.
Hello, I'm here to talk about monetization. It's Let's Go Whaling. It is about a summary of a huge bunch of behavioral psychology. So the tricks on how to monetize a game well. Some of you will probably be slightly shocked by all the tricks I have listed here, but I'll leave the morality of it out of the talk. We can discuss it if we have time later.
Okay, I'm just going to stop there. I spent 10.5 years in marketing in Sydney CBD in some of the most cutthroat, nasty corporate offices you can imagine, including dealing with conferencing company, which was IQPC, and you do not know what cutthroat is until you work in a corporate office where marketing is all about lying to people, basically, and overhyping crap that's not real. Oh, Star Citizen. Sorry, bit of salt there. So what this is about is, this is a business venture, yes. Morality and selling a soul to the devil, right? That's something I think Chris has completely thrown out the window, and he's just signed that contract and run with it, right? Kickstarter was awesome. Kickstarter was the hook, was the thing, the psychological manipulation that we've all entered into, the funnel. So you've got your susceptible and your non-susceptible buyers. Susceptible buyers, you're mainstream, and they'll come in and spend a stupid amount of money, majority of whales. Then you've got your non-susceptibles, people like me, cautious, educated, experienced and like to do their research. And I've known about Chris Roberts for a very long time because I'm 41 years of age. I'm not a millennial. And yeah, I know what that guy's doing. I did that for 10.5 years. And also, if you want to understand how it all works, the psychology of ownership of purchasing a product or taking ownership of a product, Neil Rackham. I'll actually put his link to his book if I can find it on the internet still. It's called Spin Selling. So if you can't find Neil Rackham's book, Spin Selling, inverted commas, that is the techniques Chris Roberts has used on all of us to date. And it makes us take ownership, invest emotionally, psychologically, and unfortunately, in some respects, religiously in the product. And he's kept feeding and teasing and hyping, and just at the right time when people are about to start going downhill on the subject and I'm a bit over it. And oh wow, new trailer. New ship concept sale. I myself, I was very strategic in my ship buying process, and I didn't get caught up in it. But people have gone and bought the Carrick of recent. There's no gameplay for it. Just saying. Endeavour, same thing. But anyway, let's move on. By the way, have you got anything to say about it at this stage, ILW?
So we're going to come from different positions. We're seeing the same thing, that they're using the whaling technique. They're using psychological manipulation techniques. They're getting you hyped up and building a big hype train to purchase all these and building it all up and making you so excited. Oh, we're releasing the Carrick and all this, but there's no gameplay for it. But I'm going to come from the position that it's a necessary evil. And as we get to talking about it, I'm going to say, while it is evil that CIG is doing, evil, it's not good morality what they're doing. But I'm going to get why it's necessary for CIG to do, and the justification for why they do it. That's where I'm going to come from. But go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with the psychology of it. You got to make money. It's a business. Anyway, let's just move forward to the next bit. I've got on a bit of paper because we were lazy by about timestamp, so...
So, let's dive right in. First off, Wall Street trader and an oil sheikh got into a fight. Who won? You guys did. This is to remind you that a lot of the spend comes from the high-paying guys, the whales, and the very best way to get these guys to spend is to get two rich competitive guys to fight each other and tell them, I'll give you a slight upside if you pay me.
Okay, so we all know about Test, Montoya. I want to be the PR guy for Star Citizen, but I have no real friends in real life, so I get kids to follow me and cause drama. Yeah? The unofficial spokesperson for Star Citizen. Yeah? We've all heard that. Unfortunately, Montoya only owns an Aurora. So he is the perfect example of a charlatan and a fraud. He is acting like he owns every single capital ship in the game, as well as a far majority of the ships that have been concepted and sold. Yeah? He borrows people's ships. I was in Test. I know all about it. So what Chris has done is he has used Montoya as a diversion, and Montoya's clearly not... I don't mean to be disrespectful after everything you've done, Montoya, but I'm going to be. You're not that intelligent, IQ-wise. He has used you as a hand puppet. He has had his hand up your backside the whole time and, doing this. Mate, you are the diversion from the problem from the start. You're the person that brought all this hype and negative, interest in the game, which is not a good thing. Then that interest then trickled on with the Forbes article onto Chris anyway. You were the scapegoat. You were the front defense. You're cannon fodder. And you think that you're someone wonderful and that you're the great PR guy. Mate, that they are using you. And it just shows how little you know about reality. But anyway, what's happened since, okay, is that the whales have come in. The whales from the very, very beginning. And these are people that spent minimum $10,000. Yeah, and those people have probably spent another $30,000 since, because they are the ones who have been getting to have dinners with Chris and drinks with Chris and go to these special dinner events and award ceremonies, and you know, they get the front seat at Citizen Con in the main thingo, you know, the introduction part and keynote. That's the word, you know, right? Do you think that with the concierge backers no longer having a concierge lounge, just saying, myself being a concierge backer, and none of the perks and promises and anything that we've been told to date has happened, and then we had the follow-on, right? This religious infestation. Yeah, I was going to say ingested bullcrap, but anyway, infestation into the community that became extremely aggressive and toxic and literally threatened to kill people if they said anything negative about Star Citizen. The sad part is the far majority of the culty ones are kids. They're the ones that have no understanding of how the tech works, no understanding of what they're actually talking about, but listening to people like Montoya and other whales saying, you know, this is going to be the best damn space sim ever and blah, 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 and it's so wonderful, and anything anyone else says negative about it is just out of their mind. They're haters, detractors, and they don't want this to happen, so go fight for what's right and protect our cause. So the Crusaders did that. They killed some people. And they didn't find the freaking Holy Grail in the end either. Just saying. What are you fighting for? And this is the thing. You're fighting because you've been manipulatively, mentally and psychologically programmed, brainwashed into believing the narrative that this is going to all happen and it's hunky-dory and look, you know, we'll give you some free ships because you've been such good people by backing us up and protecting us from the negative haters in the community. Well, guess what, guys? As I've said in a previous video, none of you are ever going to get any of the ships promised, the land plots promised. You're never going to get a free Pioneer, and you're never going to get any of the benefits you think you're going to get at all from Chris Roberts or CIG. But this is the thing. What are you fighting for specifically? We want you guys in the comments telling us this stuff. Tell us what your views are, what you've been told, and help you correct, clear up, or actually agree with things that you might have been told that we believe in as well. But you okay, one more thing, mate. One more thing. I'm sorry, I'll get past this bit now. Downliking our videos. If you were to downlike one of our videos, understand the way the whole way YouTube works and the algorithm works is that it's called an impression, right? And if you do something, you actually impress yourself upon a video or you put a comment in, the algorithm sees it's an impression only. It doesn't see if it's a like or a downlike. It just sees that you have interacted with that video, which means the algorithm's going, okay, this video is going to get attention, let's push it up. Now, for those, that video I did with, you know, the whole I'm sorry thing, right, that's been on trending pages all over the bloody internet for the last few weeks. And I've been, you know, having chats with people on Discord and on Facebook saying, wow, your video got so much hate. Why? And how did it come across me? I don't even have anything to do with Star Citizen. These are people I know and friends and business people I know. And so, shit, sorry about that. I didn't mean for that to happen. But it's the way the YouTube and social media algorithms work. Google is Google. It controls all of it, right? Anything it doesn't control is Facebook, but then Facebook and Google are like that. Guys, if you're going to downlike, explain why. Say, I downlike this video because. And if it's childish, it's unethical, it's rude, it's disgraceful behaviour, you know what will happen. You'll be reported and removed from the channel immediately and blocked. If you are going to comment on our channel, please be respectful and adult and mature. Have your opinion. Be passionate about your opinion, but don't be personally attacking us, and don't be childish. You know, your cult's done. So let's just let that go, guys. Let's move forward. we're trying to create a fantastic experience for the viewers now by taking you guys through something that no other YouTuber has done, and introduce you to your own universe, your Star Citizen universe, and take you through everything granularly, as well as the technical constraints, as well as the other issues that are coming up as well. We're trying to keep things above board and discuss it on two sides of that fence. Your side for the Scythians and the lovers of the game, and then my side for the haters and the skeptics. Yeah? So let us do our job. If you want to have input, we are having, in the next episode after this, we're going to start inviting guests to come on the channel and join in with us with videos, or a video idea that you have about something you're really passionate about talking about. We'll also get you in Discord and have a meeting and get something put together for you as well. All right? Anyway, that's me. ILW, far away.
All right, so he says whales over 10,000. I think whales are anybody over 1,000. I think once you've spent over 1,000, you kind of get into a mindset where it's like, oh, I've already spent over 1,000, might as well keep spending. I know personally of a streamer, and when he streams, he talks about the mini game within Star Citizen, and the mini game within Star Citizen is spending money, and the tricks, like a trick of how to get once you have a limited time sale. He was speaking of, all right, you can get more ships other than the sell, that if you, instead of buying the ship off because you might not have the money, what you can do is you can take a Constellation Andromeda and you can cross chassis upgrade to whatever ship you want, and just pay the money just for that token. And then and then later down the line, when you have enough money to afford a Constellation Andromeda, you can buy the Andromeda, because I've already done that for a ship. But it's a whole mindset of where they explain the mini game, explain the mini game within the game is spending money. It's a culture of spending money on Star Citizen. On to another point. Citizen Tech Talk, he always talks about Scythians and how toxic they are and how vile the cultist community is. I don't know if you know this. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he has got harassment against his families. There's actually been arrests made against these people. So if you're like, dang, CTT really hates Scythians, really hates these cultists. Where's this all coming from? They purposely attacked his family, attacked his loved ones. That's where all this is coming from. And on the last point of talking about the type of backers, the Scythians, the kids, there is a subset of players who don't know a lot about Star Citizen. They don't religiously follow it. They just jump into the game, get into a group, and they're real impressionable, and they just take whatever they hear as fact. I got into a big argument with another YouTuber that I don't want to drop his name. I'm trying to use other words. That talks about giving out information and really being knowledgeable, and you jump into his Discord, and one of the biggest thing he tells you is a straight line. And he actually, me and him got into a thing. His own channel members was agreeing with me, and he was cussing and freaking out. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna prove that I'm right. I'm gonna go off this just chat, go into somebody else's chat and ask them and misrepresent anything, and come back and be like, oh, well, I talked to this person. They said you're wrong." It's a whole toxic thing. Feeding the younger generation, the people who are just casually playing the game, feeding them the wrong information, and they'll say, "Oh, Citizen Tech Talk is really toxic. He's doing all this. We need to get him out of the community." And those people never actually listen to what he says. They just have the image in his head of, "Oh, this is the evil guy. We got to take him down," without ever listening to him. All they ever hear from him is misrepresented quotes, misrepresented factoids, and they never get what the truth is, and they're just on the attack and they don't know anything. So when they talk about kids and Scythians, that's what he's referencing. But go ahead.
No, thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. And that's the whole thing, guys, is at no stage have I gone out to attack any of you. I've gone out there just to fight against the wave of lies and crap that gets thrown around our community. And then when people do have an alternate opinion, let alone factual information to prove that they're right, just saying, you go full Schizian. You lose your fucking minds. Why? Because you were proved wrong about something? Because it's not all fluffy teddies and sunflowers? Guys, there have been enough videos on YouTube about the art of the lie. There's been enough videos on YouTube about, in relation to Star Citizen, there's been enough videos about the psychology of making people buy. There's been all this stuff. And unfortunately, the far majority won't watch it because they are too scared of realising the actual reality that they're in is you've spent $5,000 on potentially a black hole. I've spent over $1,000 on a potential black hole. Is that money that I get to throw around? Am I a proper whale? No. I'm one of your beggar whales, as ILW says, right? But at no stage am I trying to push my agenda. I'm not trying to sell something to you. I'm not selling anything. I'm just uncovering things and finding truths and showing you that CIG is saying it themselves on video. Okay, guys, get angry at CIG. Stop being angry at me. Stop being angry at ILW. And that YouTuber, I know who you are. You know that I know who you are. And, mate, you don't represent Aussies very well. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. All right, let's move on to this anyway. Now, in business, and this is something that I spent $5,000 doing a course for, separate to my job, in my own time to upskill myself as part of my managerial, pathway to promotion, etc. Self-development, right? Continuous improvement. I learnt this program where the human psyche, understanding, qualifying, and reading your audience. So there are 4 main different customer types. Now, they're using this in a social media, online app game terminology with the socialists and stuff like that. To put it down to the crux of things, at the end of the day, that is very game app, marketing talk. So I'll simplify it for you. From a business standpoint, your 4 types of customers are your commander. They walk in, they want it, they don't know what they do, they don't know anything about what they want. They just got told they should want it and get it because, well, they can. Whales, for the most part. Then you've got your affirmatives, yeah? Oh, yeah, upgrade my ship. Oh, yeah, totally, mate. Oh, yeah, next week. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And only ever have an Aurora. They're your hot air bullshit artists, right? The far majority of the backers in Star Citizen, and probably some of the smartest people actually in the long run. Then you've got your steadiers. Oh, I don't know whether I should upgrade, or I don't know if I should leave my org. And these are the most susceptible people to the most toxic people in our community. Yeah, they're the ones that are probably the most genuine, nice, decent people, at least to start with, in our community that need nurturing and support and training and development, right? But then these fucking idiots come in and cause all the drama and ruin the game for them too. And then most of them have, I've noticed, I've spoken to a lot of people, a lot of orgs, and they've said, I've got people that haven't been on for 2 years. They've only got an Aurora, or people have bought lots of ships and they haven't got on for 2 years. Okay? Because of the toxicity. You guys are stopping all of the nice people playing the game because of a small minority of you nutjobs. Then you've got your conscientious. I'm a conscientious. I'm somebody that will research, read a brochure, go back, ask questions, make phone calls, check emails, go back, do more research on the internet, go to the manufacturer themselves and actually find out specifications before I make an informed, qualified and educated purchase. Everything I own from my PC setup is based on educated, researched, double researched, ratified evidence that what I'm using is for my need case scenario, right? My needs assessment over my wants assessment. Chris, CIG, Star Citizen is all about want. I want a javelin. But do you need a javelin? Oh, but I've been told it's the best ship in the game. It's the biggest capital ship. You know, I got bragging rights, and I got all my org mates who can come on and fly the ship with me. Okay, did you know about the repair costs, running costs, upgrade costs, manning of the ship costs, and other taxes and other issues you're going to have with, you know, parts wearing out? Oh, I've already bought it. This is the problem. And this is where this part now just takes us very briefly.
To think of stuff. I've seen suggestions to model what you sell according to bartle types. I assume you're all familiar with bartle types. The achievers want to progress in the game. The socializers want to speak to other people. The killers just want to compete and kill each other. And the explorers are the guys who are after stories and experiences. So this is from Will Luton's suggestion to you sell convenience to the achievers, which really means faster progress, customization to socializers, hats and stuff, competitive advantage, that is pay to win for the killers, and content for explorers. Now, the reason I highlighted convenience up there or progress is that most of your sales will be here. Customization, hats and stuff, they're nice, but you'll have a single-digit percentage of your income coming from that, if you do both that and progress. Competitive advantage is good, but you can go overboard with it and have an unbalanced game, which is, if it's too clearly pay to win, people will stop playing.
Right.
And content, it takes a lot of resources and time to do that. Selling content is very expensive. Hardly any team can keep up producing content in the at the pace needed. This one I like a bit better.
Now, this, all right, so hardly any team can keep up with the content that needs to be created. 4.5 years behind schedule. Just saying. Your input, mate?
Well, I got a lot, so we got to revisit other things because when you see me like reaching over, I take notes of what to talk about. So, a lot of the players, first of all, a lot of the players aren't playing not because of the toxicity of the community, I believe, but because of the state of the game. You know, I'm playing other games simply. I believe from what Star Citizen said that it'd be the best PC game that there ever was, but it's not that now. At the state currently it's right now. There's many hundreds of other games currently better that I would rather play other than Star Citizen. I'll come in for Star Citizen for a little bit and play it for like a week or a month and just be on it. But the rest of the year is going to be playing another game. Until Star Citizen releases, I'll play Star Citizen very small and everything else. When he talks about want versus need, okay, you can get in with an Aurora, but honestly, when it comes to the truth of it, you need more than Aurora to play the game. You know, when each ship costs $1 million, and the minimum you're making per mission is 10,000, I think in order to really progress in the game, you need like something like a Constellation. And I say that because that thing can call cargo, it can engage enemies, it can clear these bounties it can clear these big waves all by themselves and make a lot of money really fast. To get $1 million in an Aurora, it's not going to be an easy thing. And you don't actually see players doing that. You know, if you go into the game right now and you find the players that own just Aurora, ask them how much UEC they have in their bank account. And it's always like, man, I only have 10,000, 20,000, because you can't progress fast enough in that. All right, and when it comes and back to the video, when it talks about the progressors versus the people who like content, the explorers versus the killers, the pay-to-win ones, and you look at all those 4 monetization types, all 4 of those monetization types are represented in Star Citizen. Star Citizen covers all of them, except you don't pay for DLCs and content and stuff like that. They put that up for free, unless you consider Squadron 42. Then they are doing it. So, and especially Squadron 42 is only episode 1. They want to go episode 2 and episode 3. And we only bought, to my knowledge, episode 1. That's what we paid for. So when we want episode 2, we got to pay for it again. So all four of those things are covered in CIG's business model. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this is the whole pay-to-win model. Star Citizen, it's like any mobile phone app. Yeah, you can play it for free, but then you run out of energy. And then you've got to pay real money to get more energy to progress further in the game because no one's going to play for 5 minutes. Now, there's a game on mobile called Empires. That is the most painful, frustrating game to play because you have to pay for star level 4 and 5 characters. You do not get them. You cannot obtain them. You cannot get, cards or puzzle pieces or parts to get them. If you just get what you get in the free game. That is a very clear pay-to-win model. Now, Star Citizen, is, in my opinion, is following exactly the same pathway. And Aurora, pew, 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 bang, you get blown up, not them. Because you have tiny little lasers on your ship, which are just completely incompetent for their role, and you're going up against gladiuses and even worse, wardens, and, and constellations, as well as just a bunch of other ships that you cannot beat in an Aurora. Ever played Arena Commander, guys? Or Pirate Swarm, should I say? Yeah, it's not realistic. So when I bought my ships, I bought them very strategically for their set purposes within the game mechanic I'm playing. But a lot of people are just buying ships because, well, they think they have to or they need to. I remember when I had a guy in my org from Test, and I found it impossible to find a Sabre, original Sabre, not the Comet. I hate the Comet. It's ugly. The original Sabre. Which is still faster than the Comet anyway. And it took, I was asking so many people, and then this guy was in my organisation. He said, I can get my hands on one for you on the grey market. I went, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll just melt it later if it's not going to perform later on the game as good as it should now. And he said, I'll get you one, blah, blah. He paid for it. He gifted it to me. So I went, okay, well, I have 2 weeks later, got paid again. Paid him straight back. No discussions, no questions. I do not regret doing that. The Sabre is my probably most beloved ship in the entire game. But that's the thing, there are people buying Constellations or buying Cutlass Blacks. You might as well be flying a bloody, Endeavour? You're wasting your time buying Cutlass Black. It is no longer super OP, super strong, shields unbustable, and blah, 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 and you shoot it for 3 hours with 4 ships and it doesn't blow up. Cutlass Black's are slow, clunky, and are not a heavy fighter. They're a medium fighter, and they're so oversold. That's why, at the same time, they did the rework on the Cutlass Black to make it really big. So it's more fluff for you to buy. It makes you think you're getting more value for your money when you're not. Marketing, psychology, and manipulation. All right.
Can I say something real quick on that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in disagreement with that. I think the within the $300 range of ready available ships, it goes Avenger Titan as the cheapest starter ship, the best value for the money, and then it goes Cutlass Black right up next, and then right up past that's the Constellation. That's just my opinion on price points, but I think the Cutlass Black is still it's still a great ship for its money. I know a lot of people get a lot of play time out of it. A lot of people in duos get a lot of it because it's so versatile for what it is. That's why Avenger Titan is so good, because Avenger Titan is its versatility and how good it can perform in so many areas. The Cutlass Black can perform in so many areas as well, just like the Constellation can. So I'm in complete disagreement when it comes to the Cutlass Black.
It's funny you say that, because my opinion on that same thing, just very quickly before we move on, is the Mustang to teach you how to fly a fighter. 2, the Hornet, mate. And then you're moving on to, your Sabres as well as your Cutlasses and so on. It depends on which angle you're coming from. I'm a fighter pilot, born and bred. That's why I'm going to be all the way through the game. I'm going to be sitting my ships on a Kraken and getting shipped around wherever I'm going and do whatever I've been told to do, or otherwise defending the planets, as well as doing cargo runs and escort, and taking out pirates and stuff. So for me, my gameplay mechanic is more fighter focused. Now the Hornet is a pig of a ship. It can cop a freaking beating over a Cutlass Black and put out 10 times the rate of fire of a Cutlass Black. So it depends on how you want to play the game, what you're going to be focusing on more. If you want to do more transport, cargo, mining, exploration, yeah, definitely, what ILW said. If you're more into the fighters and the defense and security and support and escort and Black Ops, then you're going to follow more of my pathway of thinking. It's just the way the game's set up. There's no kind of balance in between. You choose one side of that fence or the other. All right, so let's just knock this bit out and we're going to move forward.
Hook Habit Hobby. This is a model from Dimitri Dravanov of Flare Games. It's a model for how people progress in a game. The hook is what gets you into the game to try out a free-to-play game. Then you build it into a habit that you play multiple sessions every day. And then at the end, it's the hobby phase where people see it as one of their main hobbies, and they put lots of time and resources into it. Now, if we look at this from a monetization perspective, the hook is where you put up an icebreaker. You want to give a really, really good deal, something that's a no-brainer. You would be crazy to turn it down.
All right, that was the Chris Roberts Kickstarter video, sitting in behind that, terrible 3D set he put together. But back then, it was acceptable, it was cool. So keep that in mind, that was the hook.
As a player. The reason to give a really good deal up front is by making people spend up front, they are also emotionally committing to your game, their retention will go up. And the first spend is, it breaks the ice, then they think of themselves as spenders in the game. It's okay for me to spend in the game. Lots of people otherwise have this wall up, I will never pay for a mobile game. So you need to break the wall first. The habit is like the main meat of the game. This is where you sell the faster progress, as we just discussed. And the hobby is for the guys who have already maxed out. They're the guys who have all of their Clash of Clans building at the max level. They are already there. So you can no longer sell progress to them, you have to sell consumables. This is where you're selling the faster healing times or faster ease.
Yeah. So anything later than that is just going to be mobile, I believe.
Yeah.
But if you look at this, Star Citizen does have nearly a free-to-play model. And the hook that I think the hook that they get you in is they get you in the Aurora. And as you fly in the Aurora and you see the versions of, oh man, this game is so wonderful. There's so much to do. If only I had a Cutlass Black or an Avenger Titan or a Constellation, I could do so much more. Oh, well, how much is it? Oh man, I can CCU to it. It's so affordable. This business model that he just talked about, that's straight up Star Citizen in a nutshell. I think Star Citizen should be free to play. It is a free to play model. It's 100% a free to play model, where you they could put you free to play and get you a game package and get you in the count for like get it in for free and to actually get ships to fly, $45. I think that's how they should go with it. That's what they're already doing anyway. And I think when they go to release, that's going to be the business plan. Free to play, you can play Star Citizen for free, but you have to pay for your first ship. And then, you can continue to pay for ships afterwards, and they're going to go back on the whole ship buying promise. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. For now, we have what we have. And what's going to happen in future is, yes, it'll be like Eve. You get to get into the game for free with the absolute garbage starter ship, and then navigate your way to wherever you're going to go to get set up and get started, and then actually start investing real money into the economy. What Chris was trying to do is avoid that in completion, but I don't think he saw that far ahead after the actual development was completed. He didn't realise that, hey, how are we going to make money after this is done? People are going to buy ships all the time, aren't they? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. The EVE players will come across and they'll be our bread and butter, and we've got our whales have already spent lots of money. They'll probably, start getting other people to buy ships, and no. No, it won't happen that way, Chris, because that's not reality. People have a finite amount of money. Even if you're rich, you're going to spend so many dollars on this game. You're going to stop at some stage. I overspent. I overspent massively, but you know why? Because I wanted my Warden Harbinger, not because it was a special variant and rare and stuff like that. It's because I know what I'm doing with that ship, and that's ground support and space support of capital ships. That thing's going to be a monster out next to my Eclipse and other ships that I've got. All right, so we've covered those things. Anything else you got to say about that?
Well, so we talked about. So in this up to now, we've talked about how Star Citizen is pay to win in a lot of ways. It's cultish in a lot of ways, and here where I'm going to go where it's justified. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the financials of Star Citizen, you can see that they've paid that they're operating at a loss. I think the big difference between this pay model and other companies who use the same model, where they say leave morality out of it, it's they're not operating at a loss. The other companies who are implementing all this and all their pay to win and all their microtransactions and all that and all the toxic stuff that we've gotten to know, and that CIG is using in some form. They're not operating at a loss. They're pure profit. They're trying to make billions. They're trying to make millions. Star Citizen isn't. So my defense for Star Citizen's business model is they're using all the money that they get, and then some. As I said, operating at a loss. That's I don't care if Star Citizen makes $100 million in a year if they use all that money, which they are doing. So I defend it. So. You say you might have thought from the beginning, oh man, he's against this. He's right with Citizen Tech Talk, But then at the end, my conclusion that I come to is, as long as they use the money to support the game, I'm all for it. Now, before we move on to this, let me ask you this, CCT: do you want to continue going with this because we're already almost approaching an hour, or do you want to cover this again and it's on video?
Yeah, I think we should wrap this one up here. Guys, in the next video, we're going to be talking about the Theatres of War, CitizenCon update as well, the Head in the Clouds episode with the CIG staff all being kids and kittens. I think where we're at with this is we have to accept that CIG, from the skeptic side and the haters side, has embezzled some money, wasted some money, quite a bit of it, and running at a really serious loss, which needs to be halted immediately and corrected back on path immediately. I think there needs to be a bit more transparency with the way the devs do their thing, the way Sean and Jared hold themselves, which we'll get into definitely in the next video, because that's going to be a bit of a rock your socks off kind of episode. But guys, look, thank you so much for watching this episode. This is just the beginning, the very first chip of ice off the top of this iceberg. We've got so much more to bury down on in the next episodes coming. So stay tuned. Please, once again, subscribe, press the like button, click the bell, and stick around. You guys are in for a massive roller coaster, and it's going to be worth your time moving forward. Anyway, ILW, got anything else to say about this, or?
Well, no. It was a pleasure talking about it. I know we're channel partners now, but yeah. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for allowing this, and it's going to be a bright future, and a bright future for this Tangents channel. I believe a bright future for Star Citizen. And let's keep it up. Keep the skeptic, keep the positive. See both sides. You're not getting that anywhere else than this channel. There's no skeptic and a supporter talking. It's either all supporters or all skeptics. You're not seeing it anywhere else.
Yeah, fantastically said, mate. And that's the thing. I think we've just gone and broken the mold, and we're going to continue to do so in future. Subscribe now, subscribe later. You will probably end up subscribing, because we're just breaking away from all the norms and the current the feedback you guys have been handing out to other YouTubers already. Anyway, I'm CTT, you know me.
And I'm Ever Should Lead the Way.
All right, and as per usual, and as per always, peace out. Cheers.
Yep, see you.